Alright guys, I make a short video just to show you how to make peanut butter hot chocolate bomb. We're going to start the same way as we did the last one. Here are my shells. I already pre-made them. If you want to know how to make these, watch my first video. I'll show you exactly how to make them. Nice and smooth, flat on the top. And our cupcake liner ready to go. Our ingredients today, same cocoa mix, 1 tablespoon of sugar. For every teaspoon of cocoa mix, I use the Ghirardelli Majestic cocoa. I pre-make it so it's ready to go, and I just use 1 tablespoon into my mix. The next thing we have is our peanut butter. You could use any peanut butter. I happen to have Jif, but you could use natural one, Peter Pan, whatever you have. Just make it nice and smooth, not chunky, so we don't have the pieces of peanut butter in the milk. I'm going to use the same dehydrated marshmallows as I had before, but I'm also going to add some of the mini jet marshmallows. That way it'll cause a little bit more of a puff and explosion at the end. And to finish decorating, we're going to use the Reese's miniature cups. I cut one up in 4 pieces, and this is just to put on top of the bomb. And I also am going to use chocolate melt that I've already preheated and got ready, and I'll show you later how to do it. And that's going to decorate the bomb in the end. Okay, so let's get started. First thing we're going to do is going to melt our edges. Remember, we have to do the edges for both, not just the second one, but both of them, so that they're nice and flat and they'll come together nice and easy. Just a quick melt on a very low heat. And then we're going to get about 1 teaspoon, and I don't want it really heaping, just a little bit in there to get the flavor. If you personally like it with more peanut butter, then add a little more peanut butter. I go ahead and I'm going to put that first, so that it sits in the bottom and it's easier to get all the ingredients in. The next thing I'm going to do is put our cocoa mix. Again, 1 tablespoon of the mix, which has 1 tablespoon of sugar for 1 teaspoon of cocoa. Put the mini marshmallows, and then I'm going to add, again, the bigger marshmallows just for the effect. Now try not to overstuff it, because if you overstuff it, the marshmallows and the ingredients are going to get on the edge, and it's a lot harder to match the edges and seal them. So make sure you don't overstuff. Get the second shell, again on a low heat. Sometimes I even take it off because it's too much heat. Just melt it enough that it causes a little bit of softness in the chocolate, and then line up your edges nice and smooth. If you want a little bit tighter seal, get your finger, wrap around it, and just smooth out the melted chocolate, and it'll form a nice seal around the 2 shells. I'll show you here up close. This is what you're going to get. Nice and clean, nice and smooth. Takes some practice, so try and try again. And that's the bomb. The next thing we're going to do is the decorations. First, I'm going to get my piping bag, which I will put in the comments below the ones that I use. These are great because they're microwavable. You put your melts inside of here and you put it in the microwave. For the first time, you put it for 1 minute at 50% power. Take it out, squish it around, and then keep doing that for 30 seconds. Again, 50% power. Keep taking it out and squishing until it's completely melted. If you don't have a piping bag, use a Ziploc bag, or melt it in a bag and put it in a bowl and put it in a Ziploc bag. Once it's done, cut the tip. I put it on top of parchment paper so I'm not making a mess anywhere. It's easy cleanup. And all you got to do is lightly squeeze and run it back and forth, and you'll get your chocolate lines across. Now what I do is I'm going to get the Reese's cups that I have cut and put them on top. I like to put a little extra dab of chocolate on top. It helps hold them in place, and it'll harden, and it becomes like a glue to hold the Reese's on top. A little more for the second one. Use as much or as little, it's up to you. Decorating is a preference. If you want to cut up more Reese's or squish them a little bit more, make them more grounded, that's fine. And there it is. There's our hot chocolate bomb. I'm going to warm up the chocolate or the milk, and then we're going to go ahead and demonstrate the drop. All right, I got my cup. Remember, get a spoon. Always have a spoon. Mix things because the chocolate does get lumpy, and in this case, the peanut butter gets extra lumpy. Here's my completed bomb. I'm going to go ahead and drop it in. I've already preheated 1 cup of milk for about 2 minutes in the microwave. That's usually more than enough. If you like it a little hotter, by all means. And here we go. There's your bomb. So you get a nice burst out of the bigger marshmallows. Some people like the flavors, some don't. Again, your peanut butter is going to be lumpy, so stir it in really well. The hotter the milk, the easier it is to get rid of the peanut butter or the chocolate when it lumps up in the hot chocolate. So there's my peanut butter hot chocolate bomb. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.